Owlboy is a lovely adventure where every time I picked it up, I never wanted to put it down until the end of the game. I heard the game took about 10 years to make, and I hope that the Owlboy 2, if they make it, doesn't take another 10 years. Let's get into it. Starting with the story. The story is what kept me playing the game. It was very intriguing and relatable. You play as Otis, the Owlboy living in Vel. At least I believe it's pronounced that. He's a mute and always fails at his expectations. He grows throughout the game, and you and your best friend from Vel end up saving the world with help a few other friends along the way that you gather throughout the adventure. It's a hero's journey, a story we all know and love. I really related to the failures Otis experienced in the beginning, along with the realization people always did believe in him at the very end, and how his mentor was just a person who also made mistakes. Let's talk about the music now. I believe it's pronounced Tropos? Probably not, I'm bad at pronouncing stuff, I apologize, but let's say Tropos is the hub world anyway in the game, and it has a soundtrack that I've been listening to on Spotify for years. And that goes to show just how good this soundtrack is. The music really reflects the excitement of a new adventure at the start of the game, to the puzzling puzzles and temples, and to heart-thumping boss fights. The composer really did a great job with the music, that's all I gotta say. And it's on Spotify too, which is great. Let's go into the gameplay. This is the thing that I have the most stuff to talk about. I gotta admit, the gameplay was quite boring at first. You would run around as Otis and carry up to 3 friends who have the power to shoot, light things on fire, or Spider-Man your way through the game. I ended up enjoying this type of gameplay by the end, and now wish there was more games so I could play the gameplay more. I should also mention that it's more like a twin stick shooters. How you do it? You control Otis the owl flying around, and then you use the other stick to aim, and then you shoot with ZR, which is, I played it on the Switch. The stealth sections are fun, and luckily if you get caught, you can just run past the enemies most of the time, letting you play your way. The puzzles are not too tough and not too easy. It has a good sense of flow. The game doesn't hold your hand, but isn't like Hollow Knight in difficulty in fighting or anything with the puzzles either. There was a lot of mechanics I was surprised that I never saw again. Like, there are a few characters that you can use for one mission and then never again, and they have their own gameplay stuff. Also, there was these dangerous gnomes that they made a big deal of, but it was only in one room of the game. That was a little strange. But what is the most interesting is where most 2D games scroll left to right, this game scrolls in all directions, especially up and down. That gave a certain amount of novelty for most people playing the game. I mean, sure, there are levels in Mario Bros and stuff where you do go up and or down, but this is like a whole nother thing. I do want to mention here that there were no real glitches or any gameplay issues while I was playing the game. Maybe a few bits where I thought me getting hit was unfair, but honestly, I think I just needed to get good at those portions of the game, or I wasn't really paying attention. Let's talk about the art design. The game is simply beautiful. The 2D sprites are nice to look at, and the animations are very playful. The world is pretty from the foreground all the way to the background. Everything is moving from characters to the environment itself. I normally don't play a lot of 2D games, but this one was fun, particularly because I enjoyed the aesthetic so much. And playing it on my Switch and handheld just felt right as a classic gamer. All in all, I give Owlboy an 8 out of 10. It's 100% worth a play for the story, music, and the looks. It's not a hard game either, so it made it easy to pick up if you're in the mood. I will mention that I always felt a resistance to play the game, but once I picked it up and started playing the game, no matter how far I was into it, I didn't want to put it down. So I don't know, that was just interesting. That's my ADHD, but it was an interesting feeling to not want to play it and then be so sucked in after like 5 minutes. I do hope that they make an Owlboy 2, and that it doesn't take 10 years to make. There's so much in the game that can be expanded upon, and I'm not sure if they did that because they wanted to make a sequel, or if they just ran out of time and needed to get the game done. Either way, it is a solid full game that left it open for an Owlboy 2. Owlboy is on all platforms, and I would recommend getting it, but on sale. The full price tag, while I understand having it with how much work they put into it, I personally would never pay that much for a game like this. I think I paid $10 and was happy with the purchase. Steam should have it on sale sometime. I bought it on Switch for $10, so there you go. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to create more, so here I am. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to take care of yourself, okay? I'll see you next time.
Speak your mind, say what you're thinking. Just be you.